It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
And welcome in, everybody. Saturday morning.
It is indeed.
After Thanksgiving.
We survived.
Are you have you over the tryptophan hangover, or did you?
You know what? I kind of like hanging in that for a while. That's a comfortable domain.
Are you one of those that hits the couch after supper and?
You know, I don't do carbohydrates.
You don't?
So I do take naps every day.
Uh-huh.
So Thanksgiving was not the exception.
So there's no.
But I didn't take an exceptionally long one. It was just a nap and 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah, it was it.
Why?
Because that's the way I roll.
So there's no compromising pictures of you that could be uploaded to the internet anywhere? Like there's one of my wife?
I don't know who would have taken those.
Oh, really?
And and you will think better and never utilize those photographs.
I'll show you later.
Okay, well, you can show me, but we're not going to put them out on you. You've been married too long. You know better, Josh. Hey, let's.
I'm not scared of her.
Yeah. Okay, the first lie has been told, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
we're going to get on with the program and try to tell the truth.
It's cold, David.
And we're going to start off with the weather. And today, of course, is Saturday, the very last day of November.
Wow.
And my goodness, that month went by fast. It went by like a day. 23 degrees currently here at the Bates Nursery weather station. And we've got cloudy conditions rolling in, so the temperatures will moderate into the mid-40s. Tomorrow, morning clouds, sun in the afternoon, 44, 22 for the overnight low. And on Monday, 38, 19. So we're going to go through a bit of a chill-down spell here. We have been working on making preparations towards that here at the nursery. But as we get into the middle part of the week, it moderates mid-50s into low 40s into 30s for the overnight low temperatures, and we get back into the 40s and 20s by the time we get into next weekend. Now we look at the radar. And
that's a new season right there. Let's discover.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's always throwing up surprises at me. Here's the big map, and I have it zoomed way out because otherwise it would look like just a map without...
Yep.
All the green is out here on the far west and to the far east, a little bit to the southwest. Pretty much nothing going on in the continental United States as far as precipitation goes. It's clear coast to coast and just a beautiful conditions. We did get a bit of rain this week and 32 hundredths. So that puts us over at 5.33 for the month. And 48.26 for the year here at the Bates Nursery weather station. We're rapidly warming up. It's up to 27 degrees now, Josh. So since we've got on the air, we've warmed up about 4 degrees. So grateful for that.
Air coming out.
It's going to be, it's going to be a nice,
gorgeous
end of November kind of day. It's a great day to get out and do things. It's not frigid. The wind is not howling, so it's wind chills.
Just moaning. It's not howling.
Yeah, I don't really think it's even doing that. I think it's just being very comfortable. Everything is just as it should be. We have been spoiled for the past weeks with these seasonably or unseasonably mild temperatures. And because of that, this feels colder than what it would feel normally. It's not that cold. It's just
too.
It's just right. Our plants need that time to go dormant and go to sleep, and because without the time to prepare for winter, you don't need to get it in one shot. That needs to come incrementally, so the plants can adapt and be ready for the dormant season. So talking about dormant season.
Who's that over there?
Nothing dormant about our compadres over here in studio. Austin Lowen, Caroline Gant. Welcome in, guys.
Good morning.
Glad to have you in this morning. And of course, none of us would be here without the great direction of the man who would be behind the glass, except we have no glass.
Glass.
It's just air. Tyler Blankenship, welcome in, Tyler. Great to see you
There
this
he
morning.
is.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Tyler.
everyone.
He's looking better than he reported he felt yesterday. So
Yeah, that's right.
glad to hear that.
I can make words.
All right.
Look at you. You're alive again.
And, that's important for all of us as we're broadcast on the airwaves. And we're here to answer questions about what's going on in your garden and in your landscape. A lot of people take the time to email those and images in, and you can do that in real time if you choose. All of our social media connections, Gardening Inside Out, that's Facebook, Instagram, and you can also
Twitch.
Twitch,
Twitch.
YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So hit those up. We've got email out there as well. So
Not to
check
mention YouTube.
Not to
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
you could be watching us on YouTube. You could be watching us on Facebook.
Yes.
We're available in a lot of different directions. So thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Making us a part of your Saturday morning or whatever day it happens to be by the time you get around to watching this. So good morning, guys. What's
Good morning.
going on in your gardening hemisphere between the ears?
It's cold. I know that. I did get all my houseplants in.
Good for you.
My house is now
You know,
full.
that was one of the thoughts I had yesterday. I said, I wonder which plants Caroline's going to report. She did not get in, but this past overnight time, that yesterday was the do or die time.
It was.
Literally. I
It
mean,
was.
you either do it or they die.
Or they die. I did leave one fiddle leaf fig out that I was ready to see die.
Well, there you go. You don't have to worry about it dying. It will.
It
Wow.
will. Yeah, it definitely will. I'm sure it's dead now.
Yep, I noticed the first signs of what's supposed to be this time of year. And yes, today, like low 20s is a different kind of cold. Okay? I was frozen this morning. My truck took like 20 minutes to thaw out.
Frozen.
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 I was.
This morning.
Also, you know what else was?
What?
My ginkgo. All right? Look, it's yellow, and it went beautiful this year. Like the best year I've ever had. But this morning, mush.
Boom.
Mush. And I bet all those leaves will be off by the time. Like if I were to go out
Oh,
and shake
definitely.
it, every leaf would
and
drop.
they-
It's still green.
Is it really?
Two of them.
They have held on especially long this year. It's been unusual. I was out of town for a couple of weeks and coming back expecting to see everything barren, and really most everything still had some foliage left on it. I've got a autumn blaze maple in my front yard and one of the things that they have great fall color, but they don't last a long time typically.
Typically, yeah.
However, this year it really hung on. So now the leaves are since gone in the past week, but the color amongst trees in general was really long lived. We had a glorious fall season, a lot better than it appeared to.
Really
than it
thought
was
we were
going
gonna
to
be- yeah, we
It
really
looked
thought
like
it
it
was-
was going to be just a dud because it was so dry going into. But we did get that 6-inch rainfall that was terrible for people in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. It was horrible for them, but for us we got the beneficial part of it, which we desperately needed, and we're still getting a lot of benefit out of that.
Definitely. Yep. Great fall color year. We got lucky.
We did. My Japanese maples look amazing right now.
Same.
And I planted about at least 20 plants on Monday. So I got a lot of things in the ground. I've been doing a lot of plant-related things around my property.
Good.
Proud of me.
Well,
We're proud of you too.
Yeah,
Thankful for myself.
we are kind of horticultural advocates here on Gardening Inside Out, and we like to not just talk the talk, but walk the walk, and and we walk it in various degrees.
Yes.
Some of us.
Some of us with a limp. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we know you've got questions.
Yes.
I bet you Caroline has got one queued up here.
Oh, I do. So let's go ahead and dive in. Do any native viburnum blooms smell good in the spring?
There is a viburnum that smells good in the spring, but I don't believe it's. David, dropped your water again.
Again.
Figured out what the trigger
Yeah.
is.
Our
It's
lazy
our
Susan's
lazy
knocking them
Susan.
off. The one that smells the best to me is the Korean spice viburnum, but I don't believe it's actually
seem
native.
like
here.
It's not
It's native.
It's the name. Now some of the other ones, like the Arrowwoods, they have a scent. but I don't necessarily would call them like, I wouldn't call them like really good.
Not
Like,
rosy or anything.
It's not rosy. It ain't like a gardenia. Like I said, it's got a scent, but it's not like real fragrant good.
I can't remember the name.
Burkwoodii.
Burkwoodii. There's
yeah.
a house plant that's called Burl Marxii, so I always get them confused. I have that one, and that one does smell, but I don't know if it's native.
Yeah. I think Burkwood's native.
Is it native?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Well, so
I
there's,
like that
there's
one.
the answer we finally talked about long enough. Where the answer came out.
Figured
There
it
we
out.
go.
And mine's in almost full shade, and it still blooms.
Very tolerant of almost anything by Burnham.
I love it. I think I'm going to move it this winter, though.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
That's what she does.
I do. I love to move my plants. It's like a little game. All right. We've got a question directed towards me. Are y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
Caroline, do you prune your beloved crossvine? Yes, I do. I just kind of prune it whenever I need to cut it back because it grows like crazy. It's kind of taking over my porch and has actually started to get on the ceiling of my porch. So I will just give it a cut back pretty much when I need to, and it just keeps going. So
you cut it more out of necessity rather than like having to. Well, I mean, you personally have to, but the plant, the plant doesn't.
Wait
need
a
it.
minute.
You know what I mean? Like, oh no, look what's happening.
More out of necessity than having to.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. Like it's necessary for her to do it because it's eating her house.
Correct.
But the plant doesn't necessarily need to be.
It doesn't. It does not need to be pruned, but you can prune it. It responds really well. And I honestly prune mine at any time of year. I'm probably going to prune it back this winter and give it more of a hard prune. But it, like Austin says, it doesn't need to be pruned. I just need to prune it. But it also stays very. It's very well behaved. While I'm talking about how it's growing on my porch, it's starting to grow on stuff, but it doesn't spread through runners or anything. It's just one part of the plant coming out of the ground, and then you can just pull it, cut it.
And I contend there is a therapeutic value in pruning things, particularly with respect to relationships. Sometimes you just need to go trim something, prune hard, just to be able to take the mind to a different spot.
I don't think that's a good idea to prune while angry, David.
You might cut your plants all the way down.
The key is to get out there before you get to that stage. You learn over years, Josh, to anticipate. Oh, wait a minute. I've got some viburnum that need to be.
Boy, that wisteria is just going crazy. I see. Okay.
So, it's that kind of thing. So don't wait until you get into a fervor where you...
Holding sharp objects. Okay.
Well, there's some shears that are pretty sharp out there. And, and you don't want to go like... Don't take it out on your azaleas, for instance, right now, because they won't bloom in the spring if you do
Correct.
that. So you'll be very selective. Keep a list of the things that can be trimmed now without doing harm and losing flowers in the spring, and then you'll be okay.
Well, that's actually something on our minds. Me and Tyler have thought about it. Like, check out the Instagram and stuff, because we're going to make a video. I'm going to line up a number of plants that you should not cut over the wintertime. And then I'll line up some that you can cut over the wintertime. So I said that way you can kind of... remember.
And I think
that's a great
we
idea.
need reminders and guidelines because it's very easy to forget. I mean, we deal with it all the time, so it kind of stays front of mind for us, and it's almost second nature. But that's not the case for most people. So we're always glad to help impart that wisdom and just give it as a reminder, so that you can keep your garden going the way you want it to go.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right. All right, let's talk about Kimberly Queen ferns.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about it. My Kimberly fern is still going strong. I don't know if it is today. Should I cut it back? I'm not bringing it in. If you don't bring it in, even if you cut it back, it's not going to live. And if it's still outside at this point, I would say it's toast. So
Kindling.
This is a past tense
it is.
answer to a past tense issue.
It's time to compost
It might still look okay right now, but it hasn't thawed out yet.
It's going to be pretty sad. But in the future, if you did want to save your Kimberly Queen, your Boston fern, any of those big annual ferns that do come in or that you get and you put on your front porch, what I recommend doing and what you can do if you don't want to have to overwinter it in your house and have to clean it up and water it is give it a haircut and then just put it in a garage through the winter. You don't really have to water it. Maybe if it gets really, really dry, you'll water it just a handful of times. I also know some people who've put them in their crawl spaces, so you can just throw it under your house and say good luck.
Wow.
And then in the spring, when it gets
Vaya
warm,
con Dios. Yeah.
if you remember to get it out of that crawl space, water it, fertilize it, and it'll probably wake
And
up.
as we like to say on this program, the crawl space is perhaps the most underutilized part of anybody's home. So
Your HOA should
you need
be
to get
involved
down
in
there and
this,
crawl
okay?
around.
Yeah.
Knee and elbow pads if necessary, maybe even a hard hat.
Yes.
But don't forget to
Ooh,
neglect
headlamp.
your
Headlamp.
Headlamp could be in order.
My crawl space is
There's
terrifying.
not a lot of lighting in most crawl spaces.
It's all natural.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have an old house, so there's not much of a crawl space. I would get stuck if I went under the whole thing. But let's get to another question, shall we? Is it best to deadhead now or wait until spring? I'm a wait until spring kind of gardener. I like to see that stuff up through the winter. To me, it gives some winter interest. But you know what I like to talk about? The little critters.
Yes.
Leaves food up and little habitats for all of our nature friends.
Y'all know me. Nuh-uh. Not leaving
He
that
doesn't
dead.
like
No.
nature friends.
Nah, I love nature friends, but I can't stand it in my own
How
garden.
about squirrels?
No, those aren't nature
Bed for
friends.
the squirrels.
We've talked about this, not our friends. But yeah, I just personally, as a gardener, I can't stand to see leftover seed heads, black, all that yuck. I just want it cleaned up.
I love it.
What's that? And I'm with Caroline on this one.
Yeah,
I just love that natural look. I think it's a great look. I don't I don't really like leaving things until they start looking bad. Not get rid of them before that happens.
Yeah.
Now we could have say in some seasons maybe a lot of rain that makes it look
Really bad.
yeah, more quickly than it would normally do so. But if we have kind of a typical year, which so far, precipitation-wise, it's not been overly wet, you really get to enjoy that persistent look that the either seed heads or spent flower spikes, those kind of things can give to a plant. So I do like that. Ornamental grasses are a great example. A lot of people want to cut those back. I'm not a huge
That's
fan
the
of
only
it.
one that I like up.
I'm
Really?
saying.
I know you don't like hydrangeas up, right? You and Austin. Tyler, where are you on that?
Yeah,
I'm-
you're the
I'm over
deciding-
here.
You're the deciding vote because we both
Leave it up.
Okay.
Yes.
It's 3-2 decision.
Also, I just recently learned that the larvae of native bees are actually in some of these stems that are sticking up out of the ground. So you wouldn't want to get rid of them, would you?
Yeah,
just because
Austin.
you, just 'cause you
Yeah,
cut them
yeah.
off and throw them in the woods doesn't mean they can't still finish.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Y'all.
It's not like you're burning them.
But don't they know
mean-
something about whether they're gestating in the vertical axes or the horizontal axes?
No, I don't think so, David.
so you cut it and then you just go stick them in the
No,
ground
I don't have
in
to
the
stick them. I just throw them and they just
Throw
lay
them
there.
up in the air.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, honestly, what if you have native bee larvae in there and some bird comes and perches up and just eats it? Eats the larvae of the
Then
bees.
the bird had food.
Okay.
Then the
I'm
bird
just saying.
is all full and happy.
Good for the bird, bad for the bee.
I will say, Austin, I've already deadheaded my hibiscus, my hardy hibiscus.
Oh, yeah. Hardy hibiscus is hideous.
But it looks gross.
I would deadhead that.
Yeah.
So,
I would definitely.
some
that
things
to the
like
dirt.
that. Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
a bit stemmy.
Ugh.
The banana trees are coming down tomorrow.
For sure on that.
Oh,
Tyler. How
mine
about
are
yours?
too.
Yeah. Were they mush this morning?
I didn't even look. I didn't want to face
You
the
didn't-
horror of the potential reality, which I know they're going to be brown and gross now.
Tyler has a beautiful banana grove. It's not beautiful right now, I bet.
That's okay.
Get us some videos. Get us
It
some
might be
photos of
just
what it
like
looks
frozen looking.
Yeah.
They were looking great this weekend.
But
It's crazy that they were still looking great into November.
That really
on
is weird.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's a month late
yeah.
for sure.
Easily.
Same way with like on the way in this morning, I passed elephant ear. A big old row of elephant ear at this house just turned down and mush all
Oh,
the way
yeah.
to the,
They were
all
like,
the way
we
to the
made it
ground.
this far.
Uh-huh.
They got to see Thanksgiving.
They did.
My Dawn Redwood finally turned brown.
Same. Mine just
Finally.
now
Yep.
did. Yeah.
Bald
Finally got
cypress
there.
too.
So
Yeah.
it's been an unusual fall timing wise.
It's been a great fall, but yeah.
You know
now
what? It's
now
also a
cold.
great fall for
What's that, Josh?
planting. And if you're going to plant, it's going to be a nice and cool day, so you don't have to worry about sweatings. But if you were going to be planting, what would you use to plant something with, David Biggs?
Well, there's a whole array of products that you could consider, and all of them have the brand Earth Mix.
That's right.
Earth
Wow.
Mix Garden Products proudly produces a complete line of organic soils and amendments that are made from the very best things that Mother Nature provides. There's nothing chemical added. It's only all natural things. The only thing added to it are things that are organic in nature, including endo and ecto mycorrhiza fungi and humic acid.
That was great in the deviled eggs this week.
Things that Mother Nature provides, but at Earth Mix, more is added to ensure that optimal levels exist in the soil and are readily available for the plant. And what that does is that keeps plants from needing to have additional fertilizer for the first month or 6 weeks after they've been planted into or transplanted into. So it doesn't matter whether you're talking about Earth Mix Garden, Earth Mix Proganics I, Proganics O. If you're going to be planting things, Earth Mix Landscape, the entire line, 100% organic and available at garden centers and independent sellers throughout the area. Go to earthmix.net. Click on the link on the far right. It says Find Earth Mix. Click on that, and a map of maybe the world, but hopefully just the the United States. Sometimes it comes up as the world. You see, there's a high concentration of them in the eastern U.S. We've got one that currently shows out in Meridian, Idaho, and another coming soon by springtime from Crested Butte, Colorado, and if you click on these icons, you see all these different places. You can either do that, or you can put your address in here for turn-by-turn directions to the Earth Mix seller nearest you. And because we feel like it's important to remember the mantra about Earth Mix. Success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products. We appreciate you giving us a moment to talk about that and help take the work out of your gardening efforts. You know, it should not be a difficult process.
Shouldn't be stressful.
You should be using products that help you work with nature and not have nature work against you. So we're going to make it easier, increase your success rate, and help your plants look their very best in the process. Earth Mix. So check it out. All over Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, Northern Alabama, Western North Carolina, and couple of locations out west. So thank you for giving us a moment to talk about that and to add to your gardening endeavors.
Yes, I love Earth Mix.
It's good.
You know what else? What else?
What?
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
What?
What's Austin's new segment going to be?
Oh, why are you calling me out on that?
Because this is the time of the show that you always do it.
Look, Tyler, we're just going to be honest. We didn't come up with a great jingle for a segment yet, okay? Look.
Did you come up with a segment?
It was
Joyce has
what you got?
Joyce has new segment. What's in groom?
What to groom?
To groom.
What
That makes
to
more sense than
groom?
what's in groom.
And maybe we could just call it a jangle and not a jingle.
I do like that, Joyce. What's on
in
my mind?
groom? What's how to groom?
Well, I did do something this week. Okay, I'm not giving you. I don't have a new name for the segment yet, but
You've been thinking.
I did give Tyler some pictures. So let's just do it. I'm going to give a shout out to our Japanese maples this year, y'all. Oh. The fall color has been stunning on them, and what I really want is for y'all to send some pictures of y'all's into us so we can see. Sam, I'm calling you out, buddy. I want to see some of your Japanese maples. Is your Sam Boyette always growing maples in pots? But anyway. Let's just do that for this week, and we'll come up. Look, that's in my yard. That is the species Japanese maple that has no cultivar name attached to it.
Acer palmatum.
Acer palmatum.
Right,
That's
wow.
all you get. The leaves were green all year, and then it's going this beautiful color. That's as beautiful as it's ever been in my yard. It's still a young tree.
Is that a little scrape?
Deer rub?
Deer
Yeah,
rub down
David.
there. Yeah, I see that.
I got 5 trees in the yard that are rubbed by deer. That's fun. But anyway, that one's going to be fine.
It looks great.
Yeah, it used to be a 3-stemmer. It went down to a 2-stemmer because that's just the way it happens.
That's how it
happens sometimes. But it looks good. Okay, Tyler, next picture. Okay, that's showing the ginkgo. Look, y'all, the ginkgo.
Look at the ginkgo.
Look at that.
And Joyce, hey, that one in the back that's weeping back there, that's the one you bought last week. That is Ryusin, and that is by far the best color it's ever had, too. Now, don't let me lie to you. It's got a little bit of damage on the outermost from the drought.
And what an awesome cultivar that is. It's
So good.
Oh, it is extremely wonderful.
How big will that one get?
That really depends. The width changes way more than the height does. If I were to take a stem and turn it up and stake it, I could get more height out of it.
Okay.
But I have not done that. I tried to one time, and I brought a stick up and I was going to stake it and snap. Just
Oh,
snapped.
no.
It was bad, so I haven't touched it again. All right, Tyler, go back.
Go back.
Let's see this one. This one is from my mother-in-law, Patty. How are you doing? I hope you're watching, JoJo.
Is that Verdes or what is
No,
it?
that one's actually a red leaf cultivar, but it went even more red. I believe that's Crimson Queen. I got that for her for
Looks like
Mother's
it's
Day
moved
years
on.
ago.
Stunning.
That one's a really nice weeper. That's in her yard. They're great gardeners, by the way. Really good people. And then, so yeah, beautiful cut leaf weeping Japanese maple called Crimson Queen. And then this is the other one I was really, really excited about. Tyler, show the last one. I bought this for her too. Now it's got a little leaf loss.
Oh,
But that's
is that the full moon?
That's the rising sun, I believe. Is it
Rising sun,
yeah.
full moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's giving arrangement the other day with just foliage. Okay, so you got the Japanese maple, and there's the red. Then I've got my all gold juniper poking up. I've got a blue atlas cedar that you gave me for my birthday like 5 years ago or something. Another thing happened, David. A buck rubbed that one too, so that's why I used those. They were laying on the ground, so I was like, I may as well use them. So I used that, and then I've got Northwind switchgrass in the back as the tan fall color seed heads. I brought that over to my sister-in-law's house for Thanksgiving this year as our centerpiece arrangement, which was my only contribution to Thanksgiving.
It's a beautiful one, though.
I was happy with it.
You don't cook, but you
I don't
do
cook,
plants.
but I can do that. So y'all
can
don't
eat
forget
also.
about I can definitely eat. Don't forget about the foliage plants. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, flowers look great in a vase, but foliage can too. So there you go. No new segment. That's what's on my mind.
And you know those cut arrangements like that, devoid of flowers, really can hold up for quite a long time. So
Definitely.
yeah, I bet the Deodar cedar will.
That'll hold. I've used the all gold juniper before, as in it almost lasted the whole winter.
Really?
I thought it would root. It never did root in water, but it sat in water for a very long, which was surprising to me. With it being a juniper,
Yeah.
those stems stayed wet for literally almost the whole winter, and they stayed up in
they
my
look
house
good?
last year. They were beautiful.
Wow. Hey, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to your stairs. Wow, those stairs that you redid.
I did redo the stairs.
Let's go back to that picture.
That's
of the
actually
vase.
me and my father-in-law, JoJo. Thanks for helping me out with those
Way to
stairs.
go,
He
look
came
at
over. We
that.
did it quick too. We finished
well,
before
you
2
know,
o'clock.
those stairs have been known to be dangerous.
Yes, they've been dangerous for like
stairs.
4 years. So finally, we got to that. Thanks,
You've got
Caroline,
Austin
for that.
nice and safe. You're welcome. And then I also do want to give one more shout out to my family. Today is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Sherry.
Share. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
It's
Sherry.
my nephew Ryman's birthday in 4 days. They are all watching right now.
see in the
Ryman,
auditorium.
what a
Happy
name.
birthday, Ryman. Happy birthday, Rohan. Happy birthday, Jade. Shout out to Razia and Wyatt. And
Dang,
everyone
all the
else.
birthdays are just
All the birthdays. We
word.
celebrated all the birthdays last night, and they're all watching. So
good.
happy birthday, everyone. Love y'all. All right, so let's get back to
We got live ones
some
too.
questions.
Yeah.
I know they're coming in hot. Sam Boyette on YouTube asked, would it be okay to leave my fall pumpkins out in the backyard to decompose, or should I do something else with them?
Well,
I
Sam,
just
that's
set
up to
mine
you.
down.
You want
Yeah.
deer?
Do that, or do you want to have a pumpkin patch right there
Yes,
next year?
yes.
Because you probably will, Sam. So, I mean, if you're okay with that, like what we do a lot of times is throw them like on the edge of the wood line, so they'll still grow like into the woods. I make them go that way, not into my yard.
And you forget what you've thrown back
Exactly,
there.
exactly.
And so you get this surprise crop the next year. Oh, look.
Yeah, but if you're gonna throw pumpkins in like your compost heap or whatever, if you've got, you're gonna see pumpkins or in squash or gourds, whatever, come up next year. So just get ready for that. But yeah, Sam, do what you want with them.
You
and
had
then
those
still send us some
tiny
pictures.
pumpkins come in one year.
Those
Yeah.
were cool.
They look like little golf balls. Those were amazing.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Mix a few gourds and that kind of thing in with it. It's
Yeah.
always cool.
Well, y'all know me. I use that in my mixed containers.
Of course
when it
you
comes to
do.
the fall,
Of
you got to
course you
throw
do.
some pumpkins in mixed containers. It looks great.
You do. I just roll my pumpkins down a hill and say,
Really?
there you
Bye-bye.
go.
Well, you know, I guess we could do a DIY trebuchet construction project where you launch them
Yes. There you
next
go.
door, or maybe try to go to the second door if you've really got a good one.
Got to
Yeah.
grow bamboo because are you seeing the stuff on YouTube where they show the bamboo weapons that are coming out of there
Yeah,
now with the
yeah.
nails and the stuff? Oh yeah, it's
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Sounds scary.
I don't.
it's actually cool.
All right,
Shoot a
pumpkins.
balloon from 40 yards with a piece of bamboo.
Y'all look up pumpkin chunking.
I was about to
Pumpkin
say, yeah.
chunkin'.
Like, big
Hey, I
catapult
do have to say one
competition.
thing real quick. I did forget a birthday. Shout out to my brother Pote. Also was his birthday.
Pote.
And I'm so sorry. I just saw you texting me, but I remembered before your name popped up. I was like, I'm gonna forget somebody, but I wanted to make sure I got all
You
the
got a
kids
whole
in.
bunch kind of packed in there together.
All together?
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
You
a
just said
lot of
like 8
birthdays
people.
all
That
together.
puts a lot of pressure on the time of year.
That's true, but like last night we celebrated it all together, and it was great.
So it gets it over with. It's efficient. is what you're saying.
That's right, but happy birthday, Pote. All right, let's get to another question. I want to plant cacti outside. I see them everywhere, but don't know when to plant or how. Prickly pear, that's what you're seeing everywhere. I grow it. I love it. It fruits. I'd say it's one of the easiest things to grow. I actually have it in full sun and in mostly shade, and it does just the same in either spot. I would not plant it this time of year because it does need to harden off. So the best time to plant it would be the summer when it's really hot. It can get very established. I mean, with these, you can just take that one little pad and just lay it on the ground. You can stick it halfway in the ground, and it's going to root and grow.
Just don't put it in a spot that stays wet.
Correct. It wants
Find
to be
a
really,
rock.
really dry.
Yeah.
Find a surface rock and put them around those, man.
They're
They
great for
love
that.
those places.
Yep.
I love them. Like I said, I have them planted everywhere. And if one breaks off, I'll just stick it in another spot, let it grow there. And it stays up through the winter, obviously. I mean, it looks really good. It stays
Beautiful
green.
blooms when they have them.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
And the bees love them. It's like a little cup, and the bees just get in there and swim around and get covered in the pollen. So cute. But yeah, plant you some cactus. All right, blueberries, y'all. To plant or not to plant blueberry bushes this weekend?
Sure.
Got them? Yeah.
Why you
Oh yeah, we
would?
got them. Yeah, and they're like, you talk about fall color. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal fall
That
color.
was the turkey beak last week, was a blueberry leaf.
See?
So,
You know,
y'all
and
remember
they're,
that.
they're one of the most underutilized landscape plants.
Yes.
That, but as an added bonus, also have fruit.
Definitely.
And there are cultivars that you can buy now that have or self-pollinating, where you don't have to have two different types to make them pollinate. Now, many of the rabbit eye cultivars still require that, and they grow so similar you can almost interplant them and not realize the difference. But
Exactly.
blueberries, great if you're looking for a hedge plant.
Yeah.
It's a great
Beautiful.
option for that.
It's such a good idea. Like, if when we think about, say, like a barrier with your neighbors or something like that, a lot of people go with something like viburnum because it is so tolerant, it grows very fast, it does what you want it to do. But like using blueberries in that scenario is like, them old school blueberries that get up 8 feet tall. Like as a barrier, it's a deciduous barrier, yes, but they get so stemmy and sticky that you can't barely see through them even through the wintertime.
It's like a hedgerow.
Exactly, but you get the added bonus of fantastic fall color, like rivals almost anything with fall color.
Yeah.
And the fruit, like the most underused shrub probably that there is.
But if you get them going, more blueberries than you can eat in your family.
You share them with the birds,
Absolutely, yeah.
Caroline.
And I will share them
You
with the
have
birds.
no
I
choice
share
but to
so
share
much
them
with
with
the
the birds.
birds. I have a whole blackberry field that I let the birds and deer have. It is theirs. I never even try to get any off of there.
I would let them have it because I don't like chiggers.
No.
Yep.
Or ticks.
Or thorns or ticks.
Yeah, there's just they're tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I took a drink of coffee right when it was time for
Gotcha.
another question. Hey, we did get a live comment in from Debbie on Facebook. Debbie
Debbie.
says, I left 2 foxtail ferns with variegated ivy in pots by my front door last winter. They are in lightweight pots, and I moved them inside the door 2 times when it was very cold. I'm leaving them outside again to see what happens. They are beautiful.
Good.
Yeah, I know that ivy will make it.
Yeah, ivy will make it, and like we've talked about before, a foxtail fern is not a fern; it's asparagus. So I mean, it's way cold hardier than like normal ferns.
Right.
But you did good whenever it comes to those really chilly nights to go ahead and just bring those in. But yeah, I mean, great idea. Just keep an eye on the weather, like we all do.
Now we have a foxtail fern that we've had for years in a very large pot.
Is
that
it
we-
huge?
It's huge.
wanna see a picture.
and it's gorgeous, and it keeps from year to year. Now Renee's gone through and cut out maybe a third of the fronds just to open it up some, because if you don't do that and you have brought
bound
it in,
up.
they're just going to start defoliating horribly. So you can, it needs to get that extra light in there, so you can selectively go in there and thin it, and that will prevent it from doing it on its own and keep the mess down somewhat. But it survives great. We've got a sliding glass door that it sits near, gets plenty of sunlight, and we just have to turn it, every few weeks. It's a great plant, and as soon as it gets warm enough, it's right back outside, stays all spring, summer, and fall.
I want to see a photo of that. I love foxtail ferns.
They're beautiful.
They are. Hey, Joyce put a comment on the page. We're just going to bring it back around to talking about feeding the critters and taking care of our little friends out
Here
in
we
nature.
go, Joyce. Here we go.
It's not going to make you mad. Joyce says, I crossed the frozen tundra in my backyard to fill the bird feeder. I guess I wasn't fast enough because a titmouse practically landed on me in anticipation.
Was it tufted?
Maybe.
Likely.
They are. Yeah.
Likely.
Likely.
And now's the time of year to start filling your bird feeders because their food is going. I have bird feeders everywhere.
Well, I've got bird feeders. We've discovered two things about bird feeders. You feed the birds, you feed the squirrels. When you have the birds and the squirrels, all the neighborhood feral cats really start to congregate in your yard.
Pay attention. Yeah.
So you've
Yes.
got so much going on
Yes.
there. You don't have
Yes.
to have TV.
Gotta have TV.
No, you
Well,
don't.
one thing I have learned about birds is that that you have to be careful about the context to which you refer to them in because it could be taken completely wrong.
Completely wrong. Yes.
I mean, Renee and I just got back from this trip. We went to South Africa, which was really cool, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And there was a lot of
Birdies.
really interesting things. And I'm just not going to talk about the names of some of them because people
We
are
did
going,
that once.
this will get them.
Okay.
So
Do you
anyway.
still have the bird book?
Well, we have new bird. The one
the,
you
the,
gave.
The
me.
one,
Oh yes.
the one with the noises.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We still maybe I'll bring it in.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see that bird book.
Oh, it's got batteries in it, but it makes all the noises on them.
Yeah, we need that for the show for sure.
It had some names in it too.
All right, let's get to some more questions.
Okay.
We got a question about cutting back irises. I cut back my irises here on the Washington coast. It's really wet. Was this a mistake? So is it going to rot them?
I don't think so.
Washington
But their soil
State?
composition is way different than
Washington
ours.
coast. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it stays. I mean, it stays wet out. I've never been there personally, but from what I've read and seen, it stays moist out there for sure. But there's like a level of what do you call that?
Rainforest.
Yeah, it's like it drains well. Like for us here in Middle Tennessee, like if we stay wet, like it stays wet, clay wet, which is not like what you want. But-
Mucky.
Yeah, but you have that layer that like water kind of gets down through. But
Sand
let's-
and volcanic.
let's get
yes,
back to what it is. They're irises. You can't kill
them.
an iris hardly. I think they're going to be fine.
I think so.
Likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. So you didn't do bad cutting them.
Nah.
No.
Nah. All right. Is taking the soil over zinnia seeds really necessary, or can I just toss them on the ground?
I did.
You can, and I do that. Like I've gotten to where I don't really plant zinnia seeds each year. I just let them reseed themselves over winter because I leave the flower heads, the seed heads up often. But I will say with zinnias, because they do get so big and their roots are so strong that they do a little bit better if you do put soil over them because those roots are going to be really shallow. And I find that mine start falling over and I have to stake them or leaning a little bit if I don't bury them a little bit more. But you can definitely just...
I cut mine and laid them down.
To the testament
what I
of things that reseed, we had Vinca periwinkle, an annual form of it, at a house that Renee and I lived in when we first were married, and it had about a 4-foot wide sidewalk, and they would grow. I'd cut them back, but then let them flush back out at the end of the season. But you'd get down to where you only had about an 18-inch walking space,
Yeah.
in between them, but then let them die back, and 3 or 4 years, we never replanted them. They just came back from seed.
Yeah.
And they were really great looking.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
And I'm lazy.
That's what I do with my zinnias. Yeah.
There's so many annuals like that. Yeah, they don't come back from their crown, but they come
My
back from
Rudbeckia-
seeds.
Well, my Rudbeckia comes back from seed, and
Oh yeah, that comes back in every direction you can imagine.
love that plant. And the birds love that one too.
Gross.
They're not gross. They're beautiful and amazing. And I planted one on Monday that I
Black-eyed
got
Susan?
somewhere. It was a cut leaf Rudbeckia.
Ah.
It sounds like it's going to be pretty. And I purchased it somewhere where we are now.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We are at Bates Nursery and Garden Center.
Oh, wow.
And we think pretty much any time is the time to be planting.
Yes, it is.
Most everything we have is container grown these days, so it's very transportable. There's no transplant shock involved. You can very easily, even with freezing conditions overnight, our ground here rarely freezes, so nothing prevents you from that. And what all this means is that you can plant and perhaps get into the gift giving spirit of horticulture, for someone that's special. Plant that Japanese maple. We've talked about that this morning, or perhaps some other very special plant, or perhaps there are things that the gardener in your life desires, but you don't really know exactly what that is. Well, you can go over here to the gift page at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. That's at batesnursery.com, by the way. And we have a whole list of gifts you can give. But the one that I'm sorry to be scrolling up and down so much.
That's okay.
The one that really is the easiest and the default gift, and you don't even have to come here to get, is gift cards. You can do those in any amount, $50 and up. You can figure out what the gardener's needs are, what the budget makes fit.
Yes. And
you can email that directly to them. So think about Bates gift cards as you come through the season. We're, and of course, there's
field guides. Whoa, wow, field guides.
Field guides. We got all manner of things.
What a great stocking stuffer. And birds, too.
There you go. And, it may be hard to stuff a bag of Earth Mix Garden in there.
You're just not motivated, Santa Claus.
So, anyway, come out and see us. And because, as I'm saying, right now is the best time to play. And if you want to see everything we've got, really, you must come out to really.
Absolutely.
We have all that on our website, and you can see it all. And there are a lot of folks who, for one reason or another, just simply can't make it out. But they know we're committed to quality, and they can order online and set up delivery with confidence, and know they're going to be thrilled with what they receive without having to come out. So particularly as the weather maybe is a little iffy, you don't want to get out, or you're just busy. That's a good way to go over at batesnursery.com. And of course, you can also read all about it. I have my weekly newsletter.
Yes.
And in that newsletter, I talk about all the things that are going on gardening, and also
I read it every week.
Well, and this week, what did I say, Josh?
You said stuff about a sale.
And the details of that are?
We're going to be all the non-deciduous plants.
Hang on. Okay.
I can go.
He said he reads it. He didn't say he absorbs it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all deciduous trees.
Okay.
Excluding Japanese maples, 30% off.
Oh, wow.
And along with that, it's Earth Mix Supernatural in bags. And today, being Small Business Saturday, and this is where I want to invite Caroline to jump in here.
Keep her busy today.
We're bringing in things from her specific world, and that is all of the tropical house plants, everything, and that includes poinsettia, Christmas cactus, all that kind of thing. So you can come out today only, 30% off on all those things, and today only, Proganics Eye in bags at 30% off. So we got a lot going on. Plus, we've got free pansies.
Oh yeah.
So much.
We've got, so you got to come out. I mean, they're free. What are the restrictions?
They're free?
They're free.
There are none. Okay. You can take them home, even if you don't plant them. They're still free.
That's right.
So come get them, even if you're not sure what you're going to do with them. Come get some. We have gone through and cut them back. They're in really prime shape for the late November, early December planting. It's a great time to get them in the ground. You might not see a whole lot of flowers coming in over the winter, but they will explode early spring, and they'll give you color riding on into, we'll get back into springtime annuals. So, and those are at the low price of
free.
Exactly. So come get them while supplies last.
I'm out of here.
Bates Nursery and Garden
Josh.
Center. And we're conveniently located 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike, which is just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville. And no matter where you live, Josh, including Smyrna,
A great town.
it's worth the drive from anywhere. So come see us, Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. And thank you for giving us a couple of minutes to talk about that, help you with your gardening success. We really work towards that.
Yeah. And I think for the past almost 2 years now, we've been beautifying this room. Tell us what's in it.
Let's talk about
Tyler,
it.
hit the button first.
What's in Room with Caroline?
All right. So
This segues nicely into our sale today.
it does. So
does.
everything in this room is going to be 30% off. It's all included in the sale. So come visit me and
And a
Sarah.
whole bunch more.
And a whole bunch
Oh,
more.
boy. You should
But
see the
Sarah and I will be
succulents.
dwelling in houseplants. And I mean, we just got some great houseplants in. Yesterday, we got a huge shipment of our holiday plant. So we have refreshed that. And so it's the,
Well, these are
the
not
prime time
These
to
are
come
not
get them.
tired old plants.
No.
No, they are fresh and beautiful. So let's just look at what's down in front. There's my face right there. Hey, everybody. But in front of me, I've got the autumn point. There it is.
all right.
Autumn poinsettia. So these came in. We've never gotten this particular type in before, but it's very orange. It's kind of like got a vintage antique-y orange look to it.
Peachy-ish.
Peachy.
Yeah.
The camera is not lying to you.
It is not. Everyone that worked here at the nursery that saw it when they came in were like, oh my gosh. And then when I took these in to use for the show, because I did take them all, but they are going to go back out. Some of the cashiers were like, oh no, did those sell? I wanted to get some. And I said, don't worry, they're just in a safe place now. And then in front, we've got Christmas cactus, y'all. We've got pink, we've got yellow, we've got red, we've got magenta, white Christmas cactus, all in. Look at this.
Wow.
It is such a great gift to bring to somebody, like a great hostess gift. These are like halfway bloomed, so you'll notice there's still some buds on them, but they're blooming so you can really see the color, see what they look like. They're showing off a whole lot.
Yeah, and one of the things it's worth mentioning on Christmas cactus in particular is they don't like getting chilled.
No.
Particularly when they've got buds on them, so
They'll drop everything.
When you walk from the checkout to your vehicle, do so quickly.
Yeah.
Don't stand
Put it in
outside
your
chatting
coat.
with someone. They need to go into the warmed or at least tepid car. They don't want to be out in the chill.
Move quickly.
They'll drop
and also
every
just
bud.
while we're talking about them, a lot of people think because their common name is Christmas cactus that they're going to want to stay dry and they're going to want to be in a full sunlight. That is not true. They actually are not a true cactus and they like indirect sunlight, maybe like a tiny bit of direct sun, and then in between, well, they want to dry out just about all the way between waterings, but they
they
really
are a
don't like to
zygote
sit.
cactus.
Correct. They don't like to sit dry for a very long, extended amount of time. So if you're wondering how to care for it, that is how to do it.
They'll let you know when they need some water, right?
They'll shrivel up,
Yeah.
and they'll droop a little bit more. But honestly, I mean, you don't necessarily want it to get to that
Right.
point because they do take a lot to
Fill
reflush
back
back
up.
out. And then in front, we've got some cute little lemon cypress. Those smell like pine sol.
They really do.
They really do. I wish you could all smell them. So you're
they-
just going to have to come to the nursery to do
Do
it.
they clean kitchen floors as well?
Sadly, no, they do not. But come get you one. They are not really hardy here, so you'll want to keep them inside through the winter. But look, that would be a great little Christmas tree with some little fairy lights on it. You put it on your
Lovely.
tabletop. Oh my gosh. And then next to it, glitter poinsettia. Y'all, that's just one poinsettia right there.
But the good thing
can
about
come get
our
it.
glitter poinsettias is that they are the species, cultivar species. They have no actual glitter.
That's false advertising, David Bates.
We do not put artificial stuff on our plants
Nope,
ever.
we do not.
Not going to happen. And you also saw some Norfolk Island pines there in the corner,
Little
right
baby
there
ones.
that Austin's showing off. She's
Or-
shimmying a little bit.
Or as I heard a gentleman refer to them one time as Norway Forcus pines.
Norway Forcus pine. And then in the
Forcus
corners,
pine.
we
St.
also
John's
have
wort.
some pretty large ones.
Yes. Norway.
So another
Forest.
option for a Christmas tree, if you're looking for pretty much almost a full-size Christmas tree, these in the corners behind
Would
us
work.
would
That would
be
work
great.
well.
There it is. Look at it. It's
That
it's
one over
almost
there
my
in
height.
particular is gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Such an easy plant to
See-
grow too.
And you can hang some ornaments on it.
Um,
It's
and then-
ready to hold those ornaments. Wow. And then more poinsettias, of course, under the TV.
That's a
because
garland.
why not?
That's a garland tree more than it is an ornamental
Yeah.
tree.
Just
yeah.
you get it. You hang whatever you want on there.
Yep.
And then let's talk about what we've got that just keeps giving David trouble over there this
Well, I
morning.
finally got the
Got it where he
got the
wants it.
gloxinia far enough up where it quit
Where
brushing
it's-
them off.
So in front of it, we've got the gloxinia. Look at this like velvety magenta red bloom. It's amazing. It's a great gift. We hadn't ever gotten these in at the nursery since I had been here until this year.
Beautiful.
They're so pretty. People have been looking for them. We have them. But then on the Lazy Susan, this is Cape Primrose. It's streptocarpus, and it's pretty much the same care as an African violet. But the leaves on these get long, and they will actually droop. I have one leaf that's like, Tyler, shoot to me, Tyler, like this long. It's actually in a hanging container because the leaves get so long and just kind of dangle down. But they're really easy to care for. Indirect light, which is perfect for most people's
And
homes.
they have great foliage even when they're not flowering.
I almost like the foliage better. Mine's blooming right now, and I'm kind of mad that it's blooming because I just want to look at the leaves.
So it's the same family as an African violet.
No, it's
do?
the same care as an African violet.
Same care as a family.
But that is our feature plant, so you can come get it as a gift or as a gift for yourself. which is
30%
what I'm going
off
to do
today only.
Nearly a third.
Oh, it's
Nearly.
nearly, yeah. It's in that vicinity.
Yes.
It is. We've got some really cool stuff in stock in the houseplants. We just got some jade that's blooming that is probably like 3 feet tall. Like the stalks on it are like this big.
Wow.
Jude on our Facebook page did just say
Jade's is flowering.
Gotcha.
that her jade is flowering right now. And I haven't seen you in a while, Jude, so you need to come visit the houseplants and come look
Yep.
at the sale. We've got Thai Constellation Monstera, which everyone is looking for at 30% off. So come on out and get you some stuff.
Nice.
Let's get into a couple more questions before we get to photos. We got a lot of questions about is it too late for X, Y, and Z. So the first one, is it too late to start things like carrots, lettuce, and kale?
Oh yeah, it's probably a little too late for that at this point.
Or too early, depending on which
when
way you
your
want to look
perspective.
at it.
Yeah, we're getting into that kind of dead time of the year, y'all. Where not a lot of things we're going to be starting from seed. They're going to be growing anymore through this time. So like early spring's fine for those things, but we need to wait. And there's no point really doing it now.
Yeah, correct. And then is it too late to plant bulbs, peony tuners, and tuners?
Man,
I need to tune my peonies.
It's a Marantz tuner, David.
I'm so bad with words today. Tubers and move plants.
it's time for that.
It is time for
peonies especially, extremely hardy. Try to avoid a wet spot like we always talk about with our bulbs, but time to plant bulbs, time to start moving stuff. I know Caroline's about to.
Oh, I'm about to start moving stuff. I'm excited. This is the perfect time.
Me
You
too.
can put on some layers, get out and start digging and move your plants while they're dormant. And then somebody is moving in December. So they're wondering if by the end of December, is it going to be too late to go ahead and plant bulbs?
No.
No.
If you have them.
Yeah, exactly. If you
have
can
them.
find them.
Yeah.
So get them now.
Right. You can put them in the basement and just let them sit there and
Yeah.
don't do anything with them and move them when you move. But it won't be too late to plant. Now, the only thing that can happen if they have not been pre-chilled,
Just
and
put 'em on the
a
porch
lot
today.
of bulbs are the ones we sell
They are.
they will flower later than they would normally if they have not been pre-chilled or had that dormancy built in on the front end. So it's just important to keep that in mind and to, but it won't hurt to plant them late.
No, definitely not.
Pointy side up. Don't.
Pointy
Yeah,
side
exactly.
up.
Uh-huh.
And then we got a live question in from Joan Dodson.
Hey, Joan.
Joan asked, I have blanket flower and painted daisy seed packets. Do I sow these now or wait until the spring?
Okay, so like Caroline talked about the other day, actually on our podcast for this, is like you can drop seed now. We can mimic nature. You can certainly do that. That's what we want. Plants are wanting to set their seed now, and they'll some hold on a little bit or some drop off. The problem is the birds. I mean, if you drop your seed now and you go ahead and you just drop all of it, I mean, you could have one bird come in and literally eat all those
Eat
seeds.
them all.
So
Yeah.
I mean, somehow you could cover them up with wheat straw, try to hide them if you will, or just wait until the early spring whenever it's time for them to go. So you can just keep them in your fridge until then, and then
Yeah.
you got a better chance of birds not eating them. Because right now, birds are really out looking for
They're
food.
hungry.
Yeah.
The seed, they probably have been stratified once. Have they already or not?
I don't
And
know.
all
Yeah.
stratification is just as it's either natural or mimic dormancy by refrigeration.
Exactly.
So they need to have that so that they can germinate properly. And so they do want to go through a dormancy. There are some things that have to go through a double dormancy.
It's crazy.
Indeed.
Right.
Whole different topic, yeah. Tyler, throw up the. Go ahead, Caroline. What do you got? Is there another
Say,
question?
all right, Tyler, let's get to some photos. What you got, Tyler?
We got from Pam Eldridge up first.
I love these.
Damn.
So Pam says, "Hey Bates team, Old Man Winter took is this it? Yeah, took out my hollies in the flash freeze of 2022. I really miss my gnomes this winter. I want to purchase 2 hollies. Can you tell me what kind of hollies do you think these were? I had a male and a female." And these had huge red berries. These are so cute. Pam, you showed us this picture, I believe, me and Austin here about a year
Yeah.
ago. And yeah, They're so cute.
To me, if I were going to guess just by looking at the picture, I'd say probably Nellie R. Stevens Holly would be my guess. I mean,
But she said she had a male and a female.
I know that's kind of weird because
the Nellie Stevens is a dioequus. Am I?
Stop
Yeah,
at the
they
bad
are,
words.
Yeah,
with self-fertile qualities, actually, Nellie's a weird one. But anyway, yeah, that'd be my guess. But it could be a number of the Red Holly series. There's a number one, and the Red Hollies took it hard.
Yeah, and a lot of those are male female, so they will not produce without both sexes being present.
Yeah, definitely.
I love
But
those
those are
gnomes,
cute.
though.
Love it.
Yes. And then Pam also sent some other photos of frost on flowers are out this morning with a question mark.
Let's see it.
Okay.
That's right.
That's right. She sure did.
She sure did.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Hey, y'all, that's a phenomenon called frost ribbons.
It's so cool.
Those are so cool. Yeah, I saw a bunch of that this morning. I actually took a picture and sent it to Tyler this morning so y'all could see too. So this phenomenon happens whenever the air temperature is below freezing, but the ground temperature is above freezing.
And that vapor comes up.
And comes out. And not all the plants do this. I mean, obviously you're not seeing this on large trees or whatever. These are mainly like herbaceous weeds that come up through the season and then harden up a little bit. And they're all around town right now. So cool picture, cool phenomenon. And that certainly happened last night. Our ground is nowhere near frozen, but the air temperature was way below freezing. Actually.
Oh, it was so cold.
Cool pick.
I thought I was ready, but I wasn't.
Yeah, there's another one. I love it.
I love it. Okay, look at that! Look at that little tomato.
This is cute.
Yeah, zoom it up. There we go.
Hey, little.
The
Tomatoes.
cutest thing ever.
Tomato
tomatoes.
man.
So this comes from Teresa. Teresa says, "Morning, y'all. I've grown thousands of tomatoes over my gardening years. Never seen anything like this. There was maybe a dozen tomatoes on the plant that grew like this. The rest of them were normal. They're almost too cute to eat. Just wondering if y'all might know what caused this. I don't remember what variety these are because the dogs ate the tag several months ago."
Oh, fun. You know what you ought to do with some of those is like hang them up as little ornaments on your Christmas tree. They look like that. You know what I am? This is interesting. And tomatoes can do weird stuff. I've seen it as well too, but it's so uniform with them doing the same thing. It's kind of rare or random. What I kind of want you to do is cut the top off of one and see if it has its own seeds. Yep. Or see if it's just full throughout because, you know, I've seen tomatoes that'll do like...
It looks like two embryonic...
It might be.
If you cut it lengthwise across them, you might see that there's two separate tomatoes that have
That's
merged.
what I would love to see that, to see if the little one on top has its own seeds or not. If not, it could just be a growth that happened with like water and temperature. I don't know. Weird stuff happens, y'all. But that's very interesting and very cute. Look at those. Paint those or do something. Make little men.
Little tomato men.
Yes.
They're not very big. Look at the tile there that's with them.
Yeah, they're not very big.
I can't get over it. They're so cute. And the way Tyler, the picture was so tiny when it came up on the screen and then it slowly
That's not my
bigger.
fault.
It was perfect. I was not blaming you at all. I loved it.
No, we don't blame Tyler for anything.
Nothing.
We never blame Tyler for anything.
We know there's blame to be placed, but it's never directed at Tyler.
Yeah, he holds all the buttons. Like you can't make him. He'll mute you.
He has muted us before.
Oh, many a times.
And what's sad is if Austin is being mutable, then I also get muted because we're on the same channel.
Oh.
So
I can change that.
really, I would love it if you changed that.
Individual mute buttons.
We all get individual.
Oh, there he goes.
I got muted. I wasn't even being.
He's just demonstrating his powers.
All right, and our final question this morning, we have a listener asking, when is the best time to prune my laurels?
Oh. Well, it kind of depends.
Stand on your laurels is what you should do.
Just don't rest on them.
Yes.
I mean, you can get this done right now if you wanted to. Do know, like we always talk about, if you make any pruning cuts now, you got to look at those cuts all the winter for the whole winter because they're not going to reshoot until spring. So I'm kind of more like similar with my boxwoods or my hollies, getting them back in check like late February, doing my pruning then. That way we only have to wait a few weeks for them to reflush their new growth.
if we have some severe weather that would require that you cut some dead off the top due to freeze damage, it will require you to cut them further still than what you've already cut them. So it's a good, correct order of doing things as a general rule.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wow.
It went quick today.
Thinking about correct
It was
order.
a fun time.
The correct order?
The correct order is that this hour has gotten past us, Josh.
I'm going to give an order.
What's that?
Everybody needs to come out to the nursery today to take advantage of the
this is-
30% off sale. Small Business Saturday.
Exactly.
Got to keep Caroline running.
Well,
running
you know,
her little legs off back there today.
All of those,
That's right.
All those other retail places are so cram packed, and we've
crowded.
got plenty of spacious parking, and we're just be happy to give you our undivided attention to help you get the right things selected. So
And most of it's inside now, so it's really going to be nice and neat out there. Hey, folks, we do appreciate you joining the Gardening Inside Out and team and the show every Saturday morning.
Yep.
We encourage you to join us next Saturday. Go out to your social media, like, share, tell the whole world. We'll be here for you right here from the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. See you then.